Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be covering the fact that 2x boosted sacreds are going to be coming this weekend, and also getting you caught up on everything in game and in the community that you would need to know as of today. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so the first thing obviously to dive in is sacred shards being boosted this weekend, and that is such a big deal because boosted summoning rates are typically the most exciting times in the raid community. Typically ancients and voids and sacreds go on a rotation. It's not perfectly predictable, but about once every 5 or 6 weeks typically we are going to get a boosted event like this, and the shards kind of rotate through, and this time it is going to be sacreds. So you know, if you want to come hang out on stream, I'm happy to log in and pull shards for viewers. It's a lot of fun. A link to my stream is down in the video description, twitch.tv/cf_chosen, and it's always a lot of fun, so I hope to see you there hanging out and pulling shards this weekend. But yeah, anyways, do keep your expectations tempered. Every time there's an event like this, I see all kinds of posts on Discord and Reddit like, I pulled 5 sacreds, didn't get a legendary, you know, raging. You know, the chances aren't boosted to like 50% or something. It's still only 12%. So do keep that in mind. Hopefully, obviously, I want you all to get that S tier legendary champion, but do keep in mind that it's only 12%. So there's a good chance you could pull 10 sacreds and not get a legendary. It does happen. You can also pull 10 sacreds and get 6 legendaries. There's a lot of RNG, and just kind of keep that in mind when you're pulling these sacreds. It is boosted, but it's not like a 50% chance or something. It's still only 12%, which, as a side note, has always been the reason that I've given input where the rate should slowly increase each shard. So like during a boosted event, when you pull sacred, it goes from 12 to 14 to 16 to 18. So the chance is slowly increasing until you pop a legendary, and you can do the same thing with voids and ancients. Have it go from, during a boosted event, it's 1%. So have it go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 until you pull a legendary, and then it resets. So I think that would make the summoning system, you would keep the RNG dopamine part of it, but make it a lot more consistent in terms of somebody feeling like they're not getting as screwed as normal if it didn't you know, kind of go up over time at all, or have some sort of a pity system, they call it in the gacha community. But anyway, I digress. Don't want to turn this into a 15-minute discussion about that. So let's move on and close this. I do want to touch on the 3v3 arena. We'll get into the offers here that are popping up in a little bit and kind of talk about some spending for this week and coming into this weekend and all of that. But I do want to touch on a couple things about the arena in terms of the community, because Tag Team Arena, obviously going live this week, is a hot topic in the community, and wanted to give you a few updated thoughts on that. So now, okay, the most optimal route I think to go in terms of so basically in the arena, you want to make sure you're finishing in the top third. So you want this bar to be green if you want to rank up to the next tier. When this ranking period ends, it says 4 days, 14 hours. That is when your rank will either stay the same if you're in the middle, or go up to the next tier if you're in the green on the right, or you will go down to the previous tier if you're over here in the left in red. But you can't go below the current rank that we're all in, which is bronze 1. You're not going to go to wood 4. But you know, anyway, I'm kidding. But yeah, you're not going to go down this week. So you don't have to worry. The only thing that's going to change is if you're in the green, you're going to rank up. Now, the cost of the refills for the tokens is going to slowly go up. I believe it goes up from 15 for the first one to 40 to 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. And then it kind of just slowly goes up by 10. But the first one at 15 is obviously the cheapest and most realistic one to get. So if you're really trying to make sure you rank up and you're really dedicated to that, I think the optimal route in terms of gem expenditure is to do your 5 free ones every day, and then do the 15 gem refill, and then wait. So that would be 10 matches per day. And then when we get closer to ranking period ends in 1 or 2 days, you can kind of see how you're doing. If you're way down here, you know, halfway through the yellow or something, you may need to buy extra refills and stuff. And you can afford to be a little bit more picky in you're only going to be doing, even if you buy one of the refills, you're only doing 10 matches a day. So you can afford to wait 15 minutes, do a free reset, be a little bit more picky. You can even spend a minute or two min-maxing, getting your teams right. You know, since we're only doing 10, we don't have to rush and go crazy to get through them as fast as possible. So if you're serious about ranking up, that's the way I would do it. The cheapest way gem-wise is kind of keep an eye on where you're at and maybe get the cheap one. I wouldn't go crazy buying the 40, 50, 60, 70s because in terms of ranking up, there's no reason to finish like way over here on the far right. Like whether you're right here where I'm at currently, or if your bar is maxed out, you're gonna get the same result. So there's no reason to sit here and buy, you know, refills for 70, 80, 90 gems. Buy the cheap one, monitor where you're at, and then later in the week, if you need to buy a couple of the other ones, you can kind of weigh if that's worth it to you or not. But that's kind of the way I'm going to do it, and the optimal route, I'm going to buy the cheap one. I'm going to leave the more expensive ones for maybe this weekend and monitor if I need to buy them or not. And also, one more thing to touch on is people are talking about, you know, since you can only rank up once a week, it's going to take 12 weeks to get to gold 4. So that means we're not going to see the in-game shop, which they're calling it a bazaar. We're not going to see that for 12 weeks because they're going to wait for the one-time, you know, reward period. You can see here down, if you go to the eye and we scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see the special one-time tag team arena rewards. Everybody's saying that now that means the bazaar is not coming for 12 weeks. We have confirmation from Plarium that that is not true. There is a possibility the bazaar will go live before this 12 weeks it would take for the one-time rewards. So what I'm thinking, just kind of what I'm hearing from them behind the scenes, there is no definitive date, but I think the tag team arena is gonna the bazaar, the arena shop is gonna go live sometime around the end of July. That's my estimate. That's my guess, just from what I'm hearing from them. It's not going to be 12 weeks. It's probably going to be something like 4 or 5 weeks. If I had to guess, that's my estimate. So now let's go about getting you all caught up on the events and offers. So in terms of events, we can finally breathe a little bit. There's not this massive champ training and 4 things going on, arena onslaught, artifact enhancement. We can finally breathe. It's nice and simple. Dungeon divers. So that currently coincides with the Golem tournament that's going on in game. The Golem, 2 quick notes on the Golem tournament. Golem is typically one of the lower priority dungeons, so that is good and bad. It means you're not going to get as many end game artifacts like speed, lifesteal, stun, you know, crit damage, savage, all that type of stuff, but you're going to get very good early to mid game sets like HP, defense, crit rate, and those sort of sets. And also the Golem tournament is usually one of the easier ones to win, to finish first, to get the relentless gear, to get first or second, get high ranked, because less people are going to be pushing hard, and at least there's an epic book. Anytime we can get an epic or a legendary book, I suggest going for it if it's realistic to do so. That's why you'll see in tournaments like the Dragon that are super high priority, they've been not giving a book at the top because they know the people are going to be excited to grind that dungeon no matter what. So they've been giving like a chicken for a reward at the top. And those tournaments are extremely tough to win in terms of the relentless gear. So if you're a relentless chaser, the Golem is a pretty good tournament, and it also gives a book at the top at 2750, which makes it at least worth thinking about spending some energy on, especially because we're not going to be spread as thin. We've only got the Golem and the Dungeon Divers event going on. So now let's get to the in-game offers and have a discussion about spending for the week. Okay, so daily pack. These energy daily packs have typically been pretty good. Let's dive in here and let's see how it grades out. So we've got 15, and then we've got 15 energy refills and 2250 energy. Alrighty, 2.13. This one's pretty good. You're gonna get this over 3 days, and it's pretty evenly dispersed here. It's gonna kind of ramp up into day 2 and day 3. So yeah, this pack pretty solid. Anytime we can get over 2.0 in terms of energy or shards, that's the type of offer I'm looking to scoop up in terms of account progression. So that's a thumbs up from me, and I may scoop what's the limit here? Daily pack. Yeah, so it's just a daily pack. It's just a one-time purchase. These ones are gonna be good offers. Just kind of my experience plugging them in. They're gonna be good offers for people who spend a lot, like whales. These aren't bad ones to scoop up because you get the books. For people that are diligent about their spending, these ones probably not a great one to spend your money on, especially with a summoning event coming up. But I'll plug it in here for those of you that are curious. We've got the 3000, these 7 and 7, and there it's a 1.56. Yeah, again, not great, but if you're a whale who needs books, or you're a pretty big spender, then I can see this offer making sense. The $50 one isn't going to make sense for many people, because if you are the type to spend a lot of money, you probably don't want a lot of rare books unless you're like a new player who spends a lot of money. But if you're curious, let's go ahead, pop it in here. 1500 gems, 9 and 4. So there we go. Yeah, 1.35. So that one's even worse. So yeah, I wouldn't go that route. I'd rather spend that $50 on shards or energy. The premium one is good for kind of end game whale type players who spend a decent amount of money, but other than that, it's probably not worth it. The chained offers, unfortunately, have not been that great, but the energy ones are usually the better ones. Let's see here. And let's go 450 energy. You'll also see in the offer sheet, I've got sacreds kind of highlighted. That's because we know a boosted event is confirmed coming soon. So we go ahead and highlight that to kind of boost their value a little bit, which I didn't even do, honestly. I'm going to boost this to a little bit. Like, I'm not going to go crazy on it because it's not a flat 2-to-1 value. But we're going to boost it up just a little bit. Then we're going to go silver 500k. Let me get my thoughts in a row here. 450 energy, 250 gems, 5 refills. Yeah, 1.59. Again, I'd probably hold off on this. It's really not that great in my opinion. If that energy were 750, then we're talking 750 instead of 450 and a 1.82. That would be something I might want to scoop up. But no, I'd rather just go with this one and leave the chained one off to kind of die out. The speed set, $20 for 5-star gear is not worth it in my opinion, but this is a really good offer for a high spender. For someone who's an average or diligent spender, this is one I would lay off, especially with a summoning event coming up. So let's get that put away and kind of put a bow on everything. Yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. And as always, I hope your summoning goes well this weekend, and feel free to stop by on stream if you want to hang out and kind of pull shards together as a community. We usually have a lot of fun doing that, kind of seeing what champions each other are getting, and I will obviously pull a bunch on my main account as well. What I usually do, so when they do a boosted summoning event, they'll usually do a summon rush event where you get like legendary books or, you know, ancient shards and stuff for pulling some sacreds to summon champions. What I usually do is pull enough sacreds to max that out and get those legendary books. If that's like 12, 15, whatever it is, then I save the rest because I want to be efficient with how I'm pulling my sacreds, and we don't know if we're going to get new factions or new type of events, and then I can make sure I'm maxing out all those summon rushes and getting as many legendary books as possible per shard spent. So that's typically the route I go. Not a guarantee, but I like to kind of do it efficiently like that. So in terms of my main account, that's typically the thought process. And yeah, we'll kind of see how it goes this weekend, and I'm excited to be on stream and pull a bunch of shards for you guys, and I hope it goes well for you. So that'll do it. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.